Well, the Silver Wave Film Festival kicks off tonight in Fredericton. We spoke Monday with the filmmaker behind tonight's opening film. The Geographies of Dar is a documentary about New Brunswick author David Adams Richards. Local shorts are also a big part of the festival each year. Fredericton filmmaker Rebecca Tremblay has 2 showing this weekend. Good afternoon.
Hello.
So, Rebecca, you have been acting for a long while, but these are your first films. Why did you want to get behind the camera?
Well, I have been pursuing a career in acting for quite some time, and I wanted to discover more aspects of filmmaking and also give myself the opportunity to have more credit as an actress in film. So I wrote these 2 scripts and got funding for them.
You wrote these films, you directed these films. You acted in them as well. What has it been like for you to be involved in every part of the process?
I've actually loved it. I didn't realize how much I would love it. I've completely fallen in love with directing, and I love creating a story and bringing it to life and then showing it to an audience that really gets immersed in the story. It's fantastic, and I want to keep doing it.
What is it that you really love about directing?
I love creating a universe and bringing characters to life that tell stories that really touch people and that people can relate to. It's so much fun to create a world, and being able to direct that means that you're creating each chapter, each piece, and bringing it together.
Taking on so much with each of these projects. I mean, how steep was the learning curve?
Extremely steep. I did everything from project manager to even editing, Good Mom. So with editing, I learned from scratch with YouTube videos, and I did it all myself. That was a huge learning curve, and even learning how to submit my film to film festivals and what that whole process is. There's just so many different processes, and I wore many hats, so very big learning curve for me.
Were there people that you could go to ask for advice?
Yes. The New Brunswick Film Co-op is a wonderful community, a resource, and I asked them for advice many times. And I worked with incredible directors of photography. So they're the cinematographer, and they guided me as well, which was wonderful because they have more experience than me in making films. So yeah, I had lots of community support.
Let's talk about the films themselves. The first film of yours will be shown Friday night. It's called Hum. How would you describe it?
It's a film about a mother's grief, and she has lost her little girl. And while she's walking in the woods, which is a regular ritual for her, she discovers something in a cave that brings her closer to her little girl's spirit. So there's a spiritual aspect, but also a very heartbreaking aspect to that film.
What was the inspiration?
Well, it's inspired by the grief I felt when I lost a family member and what I went through. Also, it was inspired by a dream I had of that family member who showed up and gave me the best hug ever. And it was my dad who passed away, and he showed up as my young dad in the dream. So it was a really special moment. I woke up crying, but also feeling closer to him, and I wanted to bring that experience into this film.
This is a very personal film for you.
Yes, but it's a fiction.
And you are playing the main role as well. What is it like directing yourself?
Well, it's cool. You also have to check each take, and so it takes a little longer. But it's really interesting. It's fun. I like it. I just like that everything that I've created on paper in my script, I can bring to life with the vision that I have. And there's something exciting about that.
Hum, of course, is a drama. The other film, completely different. Tell me about Good Mom.
Good Mom is a comedy, sort of like a mom crime comedy. So a mom takes her therapist's advice quite literally to let go of societal rules of what it means to be a good mom. She's very perfectionist. That leads her to trouble at the local RV resort and water park. it doesn't go so well, but it's a very fun film to watch.
It sounds like a hoot. What was the inspiration for that one?
Well, I'm a mom. At the time, I was a mom of a 4-year-old. Now he's 5. And so he's also in the film in a lead role. And it was just kind of, I go to that water park a lot. So it came from my observations, my experiences, and just like life as a mom, trying to do your best. And sometimes your best isn't so great, but, you know, you make it work. And at the end, everything is fine.
I suspect people can relate to that story. Directing yourself, I'm sure, is difficult. How about directing your son?
Well, there was some bribing involved. No, not too much, but it was actually hard. Like, it was a wonderful experience to see what it's like to work with kids. And like, I am a very flexible, easygoing mom. And I realized like it's too hard to direct a child for a long day on set. Like trying to make them do things when they're tired is just too much. So I don't think I'll be casting him again. And I like to work now with children who are very passionate about acting and really love it. And which I did in Hum. That was my second film. And you could see the difference. Like, they really want to be there and they have experience. But it was fun, and I had lots of helpers, and he got lots of ice cream, and it worked. We always got one take that worked, and so the film could come together.
That's all you need, one take that works.
Yeah.
So he hasn't caught the acting bug then?
No.
How are you feeling about showing these two films, your first two films, at Silver Wave?
Well, it's a mix of excitement and nervousness, and like, I'm like showing up. There's vulnerability in it, and showing the world like who I really am through my films, through my writing, through my acting. It's very exciting. Like, I feel like so empowered too. It's a good thing. I'm very happy, and I hope people can come see these films.
You've been out there, of course, before as an actor, but this is different, isn't it? I mean, this is very much something you've had control over from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's like pieces of me and pieces of my experience.
What's next for you then? Are you already working on your next project? I mean, it sounds like you have really found a calling here.
I have found a calling. I love it. I am working on a feature film script, and it's a spiritual thriller, so something different again. I love exploring different genres, and I really do love writing. I've always loved writing. So I'm working on that, and I plan to apply for telefilm funding to make it into a feature film, which I'll be directing as well.
Best of luck this weekend at Silver Wave, and thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Rebecca Tremblay is the filmmaker behind Hum and Good Mom. Hum is part of NB Shorts 1, showing Friday, 7 o'clock at Tilley Hall on the UNB campus. Good Mom is part of NB Shorts 3, showing Saturday night at the Playhouse, beginning at 7 o'clock. It's all, of course, part of the Silver Wave Film Festival, which takes place in Fredericton beginning tonight. For a complete schedule of events and information about tickets, you can visit swfilmfest.com.